Welcome back to Crisis Communication and Reputation Management. In our last episode, we laid out the structure of a strong crisis communication plan. Today, we're zooming in on a critical component of that plan, leadership. Specifically, how leaders should show up during a crisis.
Absolutely, Yogesh, because when a crisis hits, people don't just look for information, they look for leadership. Calm, clear-headed, credible leadership. And that starts at the top.
Yes, crises are pressure cookers. The spotlight intensifies and the stakes rise. Leaders must not only manage the logistics of the situation, but also serve as the emotional anchor for the organization.
And here's the thing, not every executive is naturally good at this. Some panic, others disappear, and a few over-control the situation and micromanage, making things worse.
Let's break it down. What exactly is the role of leadership in a crisis?
I'd say it falls into four main buckets: decision-making, communication, presence and visibility, and accountability.
That's a great framework. Let's start with decision-making. In a crisis, leaders must make fast yet informed decisions, sometimes with only partial data. That takes courage and clarity.
Yes, and one of the best traits a crisis leader can have is decisiveness under pressure. Indecision sends the wrong message. It signals uncertainty and erodes trust.
And that's why simulations and planning matter. If you've rehearsed scenarios, your decision-making muscles are sharper when the real thing hits.
Absolutely. Let's move to the second bucket, communication. The tone, frequency, and messaging from the top can shape the entire public perception of the crisis.
Take Jacinda Ardern during the Christchurch shootings. Her empathy, transparency, and steady updates helped unify and reassure a nation. That's what leadership communication looks like in a crisis.
On the other hand, a poor communicator can deepen the crisis. Think about delayed responses, robotic press statements, or defensive body language. People feel it.
Which brings us to presence and visibility. Leaders need to show up, not just symbolically, but physically and emotionally.
Visibility builds confidence. When people see the CEO at the press conference or talking directly to staff, it communicates, we're in control, we care, we're here.
It doesn't mean micromanaging every detail. It means leading from the front and giving direction when it matters most.
The fourth bucket, accountability, is perhaps the hardest. Sometimes leaders have to take the fall or admit mistakes, and that requires integrity.
True accountability often means owning the outcome, even if you weren't the cause. Saying the buck stops with me goes a long way in rebuilding trust.
Let's talk about traits of an effective crisis leader. I'd say top of the list, calm under pressure, emotional intelligence, empathy, strategic clarity, and strong communication skills.
Yes, and I'd add credibility. People will follow you if they believe in you. If your past behavior is shown inconsistency or spin, people will be skeptical in a crisis.
And credibility takes years to build, but can vanish in a single moment of tone-deaf communication.
Do you remember how Starbucks handled the 2018 incident where two black men were wrongfully arrested?
Yes, I do. The CEO, Kevin Johnson, publicly apologized, took personal accountability, visited the victims, and shut down 8,000 stores for racial bias training. That's leadership in action in a crisis.
Exactly. Compare that to companies that try to hide behind legal language or send out a junior spokesperson. People notice.
They do. And let's not forget internal leadership. Employees are watching too. A leader's communication to staff during a crisis can either retain talent or trigger mass resignations.
Internal town halls, video messages, one-on-one outreach, all of that matters. Employees want transparency just as much as customers do.
So, what should leaders avoid during a crisis?
Great question. I'd say silence. It creates confusion and fear. Blame shifting. It destroys credibility. Overpromising, setting unrealistic expectations makes things worse. Tone deafness, ignoring public sentiment or coming off as robotic or insincere.
I'd also add, don't disappear. Even if you don't have all the answers, being visible and present means a lot.
Let's flip it. What should leaders do?
Here's a checklist. Speak early and often. Be honest about what's known and unknown. express empathy and concern, offer solutions and timelines, take responsibility when necessary, and lead by example. Stay calm, ethical, and focused.
Let's role-play a quick leadership response. Say there's a major system outage affecting thousands of users. I'll be the CEO delivering a first public statement.
Go for it.
We're currently experiencing a system outage that's impacting many of our users. We understand how disruptive this is, and we sincerely apologize. Our technical teams are working urgently to resolve the issue. We'll continue to update you as we learn more. Thank you for your patience and for trusting us.
That's strong. It's clear, human, and accountable. Now imagine if that same message came 12 hours late. Trust would plummet.
Absolutely. Timing is everything.
So, to wrap this up, crises don't create character, they reveal it. And in that moment, a leader's voice can be a source of calm or chaos. In our next episode, we'll explore communicating with internal stakeholders during a crisis, because leadership isn't just outward-facing, it begins inside.
Thank you, Lily, and to our listeners. The public and your team won't remember all the details, but they'll remember how you made them feel. If you found this episode of Corporate Communication useful, don't forget to join us at leadershipacademy.tagbiz.sutra. Do share it with your friends and colleagues, and leave your review. Until then, lead with empathy, decide with clarity, and remember, the true test of leadership is how you act when things go wrong.